Alrighty here. Today we are continuing on basically what we were working on yesterday. A Twitter, Golang, and related app. Let's see here. And I've been fighting with some of the Twitter API stuff using the Go Twitter library. So I'm going to start implementing that in a minute, but as I work through this, we may or may not get it working. I don't know. So a little recap. Yesterday, put together this app that pulls together and cleans up a list. It parses in a list, and then it'll do an export. And I believe we got the text file export done. So we also need the JSON, XML. I think I added CSV or something like that. So we'll tackle those first and then get into the Twitter mess. Yeah, that sounds apropos. Twitter mess. Perpetual fallback license. I like the sound of that. That sounds like good stuff. All right. So we'll look at our commands here. All right, we're working in. There's parse. We got done. Got the regex in there. A few other bits. I logged out of Twitch. Got to log back in, make sure I'm in the chat room. Sometimes I feel like there should be an easier way to do some of the monitoring while you're setting things up with Twitch. Because like you kind of have to have the whole website running. But whatever. Anyway, so here's today. Let's see. We got this going. Yeah, so we do have just the text going for the export to file. I believe in the configuration to build, I have it build the package. Let's see, parse. Yeah. And then parse there. And what's the deal here? Oh yeah, we just have it go straight to file, don't we? And then it exports this Twitter's file. Yeah. Okay. So let's empty that out just so we'll know it changed, right? So in here, starting text storage, blah, 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 export. I can't talk. All right. Boom. Just confirming. Yep. Okay. So we got a good export to text file. Now we're going to do JSON, XML, and CSV. And what we're looking at here, if I recall correctly, is we look at the file export and file format. And if it's there in the file, we're basically going to run an export is the plan, right? So actually I should do I'll do a check. If viper.getString file export, it's not nil, then do the stuff. That's just going to be this line, right? Okay. What's this fuss about? Cannot convert type to string. Oh, shit. I'll do this first, I guess. All right, there we go. Okay, so that ran it. So if we go in just to test, let's take out. Let's just take those two out. See what we get. Whoops. What did I just click? Oh, I don't want that. What the hell is that? Green debug button. Anyway, just run this. Okay, so it just prints out to the console like that. And we don't actually have the file export. Let's delete this just to see the visual confirmation. run it, and yep, nothing. So we add it back, say text format file, run that, and boom, we exported it, and it is here, and it has right info in it. Sweet. All right, so go back to parse. Let's actually look at one of these other ones. Let's do. Actually, let's look at refactoring a little bit. I don't want to write all this junk in every single one of these exports, right? That'd be kind of pointless to write it in every one of them. So let's instead check error. That's the export, and then the content bytes, collected bytes, and the Twitter list. Yeah, let's take this and we'll do a refactor. Extract to method. Boom. All right. So we're going to call this export to, or export file. That's what we'll call it. And then collected content. That looks good. And it'll be a string. That'll be the easiest way to pass it as a param in here, because we can go ahead and convert it to the byte, and then we need the export file and export format. But actually, we don't even need this, do we? This should be able to get it from Viper. We'll get it as string, yeah. So that'll be the file name. It's your export file name equals Viper, and then export format equal to Viper.get string, like so. There we go. Then the Viper, wait. So it does pass it in here. I really only want to set it one time and then kind of pass it through everything, right? So maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I do want to pass it as parameters. Yeah, I'll pass it as parameters. This doesn't need to have information about the collection of that stuff anyway. All right, so back to what we had. Export file name, string type, export format, string type. Now, let's go back over here. All right, so we minimize that. I think for the moment, that should put us in a good spot. Okay, let's do JSON format. So format.print f. Let's say starting JSON export to file. We'll just have it named like that. Same thing basically. Oh, we could do we need a format here? Oh yeah, we don't need to concatenate it here. We could do that above. That actually makes more sense. So let's call it export file. There we go. Okay. So let's do this and concatenate it in there. So that'd be done. Then the file can handle its own appropriate munging of the string data together like that. So we got here. So with JSON data, we're not really going to concatenate a bunch of stuff together and step through and append and all that kind of jazz like in the previous text format exporter. What we want to do is actually use the marshalling that Golang has built in. So So let's see here. Goland. Where is it? Exporter. Twitter list. Just looking through some of my notes real quick. Oh, there we go. Is that what I wanted to do? I think it is. Yeah, we need to marshal it. That's what we need to do. So, yeah, with JSON, what we will do here is, my damn computer keeps beeping at me. I don't even know what it is. Bear with me here. Chase down this message yet. Oh, RSS feed crap. Yeah, so anyway, back to the point. JSON marshalling, that's what we want to do. Make a little stream marker here. JSON marshalling. So basically what we need to do is, for our collected stuff, we're going to do collected content, kind of using the same name here, and say, or code, JSON dot marshal, and we'll have an error, of course, pass back. And then we'll use our method we wrote yesterday, check, to handle that stuff. For JSON.marshal, we need to pass in the content, which is collected content is what we pass in, right? Or no, it's Twitter list. Yeah, Twitter list. And that'll give us collected content. So now we have collected content, and then we need to unmarshal it into just a string. So basically we're taking a string array, marshaling it into JSON, so it formats it all up nice and neat and everything. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that and remarshal it back in to, or unmarshal it back to just a string type and pass the string type to the file exporter and have it just write a straight file. No reason to do any like special formatting style or anything like that with the JSON itself. Just turn it into JSON, then export it back out to a string, or unmarshal it out back to a string, and then export it by writing it to an actual file. That's what I'm going to do. So I got the collected content now. Check for the error. Actually, if I just pass it, so with it marshaled, I think I can just pass it as a string, even the collected content as a string. And I can do that by doing it this way. Export file. I'll just put string, or is it string? I think it's string, collected content. Yeah, and then the file name. So export file name plus the export format. So I think that should do it. Yeah. Anybody got opinions on that? Maybe it won't. Let's change. Did I already change this? Twitz.yaml. Yeah, let's change this to JSON to trigger our control logic here. And now I'm going to run that. Starting export to JSON. It looks good. And I'm going to go over here and Boom, sure enough, we have a JSON array. That works because, yeah, it's a string array. Marshals it into JSON, and then I convert it, hard type as a string, back out. So this is technically a JSON string array. Not the greatest. Maybe we could do something like account in the JSON. How would that look? We will think about that at a later time. Let's keep moving forward with this. All right, so we got that. Export. Let's do XML. XML should be basically the same thing because format.printf starting XML export to file. Export file name. Let's say collected. Yeah, collected. Right? Oh, no. What is it up here? Oh, Twitter list. I keep getting it mixed up. Twitter list. I'm going to make collected content. Collected content. Is it XML? Yeah, dot Marshall Twitter list. And then check for an error. Nope. Okay, so export file. Not file name, damn it. String dot collected content. Export file name plus the extension. Let's change it in our configuration file. There we go. To XML. Let's run that. All right, that looks good. Let's go look at it. What do we got here? Oh, that's kind of funny. I think I can format that in here. Or wait, this code. Remove. Format code. I thought it would break it down and put it on new lines and stuff. So that's kind of XML-ish. Didn't put the header in there. Maybe, wonder if XML dot header. Yes, header. Let's do that. Collected content equals XML header plus collected content. Do we need to do that? Bah, what the hell is the XML header? Let's see, a new line character. It's a string. Yeah. Well, let's just call it header. XML header. And here we'll just say header. No, still don't like it. Why does it not like it? Oh, because it's not turned back into a string yet. Let's turn it into a string right here. We'll call this XML content. There we go. Let's see if what we get now. Boom. Okay, so at least we got the header in there now, right? But I don't like string either. I need to change. That needs to be changed to basically like account, like Twitter account or something like that. Like it should say Twitter account. Twitter count. There we go. Like that. That's what it should say. Just like over here in the JSON, we should have something where it sets up. I'd like to do, basically, I guess we could do an array like that, but it needs to be kind of like, I don't know. That's not right either. It'd be like oh, I know, accounts, boom, and then another one of these, which would then have these in it, and like this, or maybe just array like this. Yeah, that sees it as a good array. That's what it would be. Ideally, that's what the JSON should be like, something like that. So we'll work on that goal in a minute. Right now, let's just get more of these things wrapped up here. So this would be, we basically just need to take the string one, right? And then add, instead of that new line, well, I guess we'll add a new line. But then also, let's just, oh, look at that. I copied and pasted code. So evil. So let's do this. Remove the new line. And then, well, let's see what we get real quick. Should just be pretty standard CSV with a trailing comma, right? Install. Oh yeah, sure. What do I got? I got a plugin. It's always nice to have a plugin. What's it do? Features, file detection, table editor. Ah, slick. I like it. Sure, download that. We'll restart it later. Thanks, though. All right, so that's what I wanted. Oh, it has a leading comma. So we don't need the leading comma. That's what it is. And why does it have a leading comma? I guess based on where. Oh, because it's not the first field. Somehow we're ended up with a white space initial field. Because if we look here too, line 1's empty. It's got something in it. So let's here just, we'll do if collected content has prefix, no wait. Strings dot has prefix collected content, comma. We want to take that off. Strings dot. Oh, I forget what the crap. Remove character. I'm just gonna look it up. So Golang remove character from string. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Just want to trim something. Trim one thing. Oh, there's a trim thing. Trim returns a slice of the string with the leading and trailing Unicode code points contained in the cut set removed. Yeah, I probably want to do strings.replace. Old new string. Replace returns a copy of the string S with the first non-overlapping instances of old replaced by new. If old is empty, it matches at the beginning. Example. Oh, I can't see it. Why can I not see it? Internet. This sucks. Why is that not visible? Well, whatever. I'm going to try that. So collected content equals strings dot replace the comma. Oh, I do want to look at that doc. Split after. Trim. Trim func returns a slice of trailing unit. Okay. Just want to trim one thing. To upper. Well, let's strings dot trim. S for string, then cut set string. Trim left. So collected content, and then what? We'll do one cut set. I don't know what the hell a cut set is. It's just whatever. Let's try it. Cut set. Oops. Sometimes the docs are trash. Trim. Example. Oh, there, it at least shows up this time. Hello. Trim. I don't want to do that one. Trim left. Show me an example. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much what I want. So I want to do comma. And since yeah, that fixed it. Okay. And it doesn't really need to be in an if statement if it's just gonna, it's either gonna trim it or it's not gonna trim it. Nothing should flake out. All right, so that's that. There's a lot of redundancy here. What can I remove? That is my question. So on the strings, I do a for loop to get the collected content. Here I just marshal. So I guess with the strings, I need to do like let's refactor that out to a method. And we'll call this rebuild string, or rebuild, rebuild. I'm going to call it rebuild for export, sure. Right? Looks good to me. So rebuild for export here. Okay, put that in here. That doesn't need to be here. Let's do this. Yeah, that looks good. And then here, I can take this, pass it the Twitter list, and the content. I don't actually need this either, do I? Yeah, I don't need that crap. That doesn't need to be there. This should be that. Or no, it should be that, and I need to do a var in here. Var collected content string. Boom. That's the magic sauce. So I don't need this here. It's assigning it here that way anyway. And then up here, I need to have Twitter list. Is that it? And then here, let's do collected content. And do the short assignment, get rid of the other variable assignment. And that just gives us those lines. Why? There we go. Okay, so that makes those 3 lines each. And then your export file, this. Oh, so now if I do this. Wait, so if I got an export file name passed in, a Twitter list, export file name, export file name. So each of the lines have that. This has a checker. This has a check error. So if I do, let's do this and refactor that to method. Let's say Marshall, no wait, get string from marshalling. Yeah. I mean, that is what it's doing. Twitter list, yes. As a byte, do I need to pass it as a byte right here? I don't think so. Yeah, because the export file, that's what sets it to a byte. I don't know why that was kind of weird. So let's just do this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Then return collected content. Right? What's this? That's not too many arguments to return. Oh, that's because you're just being stupid. There you go. Oh, because it's returned as a... We'll cast that. Okay, that'll work. Oh, but that's... How am I going to decide between... Oh, that's not going to really work. That's not reducing any redundancy. Okay. Yeah, so now we got the text, which is this. We got JSON, which is doing this. XML, which is doing this whole blurt of stuff. And then this. So each has a printf at the beginning. Each has collected content that's getting put together. And then an export file. So I still feel like this needs to be neater. It's just nasty right now. So that's collected content and that's collected content. I could just do let's actually do this a recheck method. And we're just going to call this export. Which one is this? JSON. Save that, and then we're going to do this one. We're going to refactor to method. Do export text. Export CSV. And export XML. So this is Control M, Control Alt M, export XML. All right, so now I have these functions here. Let's knock that out of the way for a second. That's sort of neater and sort of not neater. This is neater because it's only this now, which is more readable. There, all right. And if we go down here, see each of these params are basically the same. So like, each exports a file, each has a collected content. This collected content. Oh. This collected content is that. So that collected content is using rebuild. That one's using rebuild. With a comma. That's using rebuild. Twitter list, string array, software list. Oh, that doesn't work. Rebuild for export. Oh, that's what we can do. Concatenator. String. Let's just call it concat. That's more Go-like. La. There we go. And then if I go up here, I can make those can remain functionally the same. Rebuild for this. This needs to be a comma passed in, and this needs to be a new line as such. Oh, I just did that backwards. This is the CSV, and this is the new line. So let's see here. If we're going to go down here, then rebuild for this, and then if concat is equal to CSV, we'll do strings dot trim collected content. I wonder if I just do this, what that'll do. Let's test it. CSV, run it. Didn't take it off the front. So let's put a break in here, just right here. And I guess what I need to do is do this. Collected content equals that. Right, so collected content is this. I should be able to, so when it gets down to the bottom here, boom. Oh, whoops, run here. So now collected content is, is it the same thing? Oh, it's the same thing. Well, let's do trim left like I had, right? Export file, JSON text, CSV. Oh, let's do concat. There we go. Let's try that one. Cool. Okay, so that worked. Oh yeah, we knocked that out. Let's go ahead and, I don't need comments of that junk right now. So tweeters, whoops, CSV. Damn it, still got that junk in it. Let's delete all these real quick. So delete, sure, okay, run. Rebuild for export, CSV. Well, it goes down in there, damn it. So this, and then this, and then this. So build it. So we'll have it stop there, and it should have collected content is all this stuff. No, I don't want another watch. Cut that out. So this is collected content. This is the value of it. It has a comma in the front. That's what we expected. So if I continue, let's see, what's step in? Is this it? Oh, so what is, oh shit, I'm doing concat as CSV. No, if it's file format. Oh, it doesn't know file format in here. If concat equals this, that's what I need. If it's this, do that. Okay, so that's some kind of some gnarly code, but let's just go with it for the moment. And there, okay, that cleaned up the file. So now we can go up here. Yeah, So I have export XML, export CSV, export text, export JSON, and basically we have the same thing being executed in each. So you might realize that what I'm going for here is creating one function out of all this export stuff, right? So if we got export file name here, what's the extra bits here? So we got to check. Oh, and then I put together the header crap is what I'm doing. So I don't know how to get that one out of there just yet, but we'll figure it out in a second. Let's go ahead and Control M to export this as a function. And let's see where we can get starting JSON. Oh, I should put the export file name, export format. Let's put the, these need to go the other order. So we'll do file name, format. Okay. So like if we return to JSON, which is what this one is, let's do that actually. JSON, we'll have this one where we can pop it out of here. Oh wait, let's not do that. Let's run it first. We'll pop it, we'll run it, and look at the result. The result's gonna be basically the same as what it was, right? So running it, boom. Exported the JSON, and just to verify everything looks as it was, we have our JSON array. It's all great and dandy. But now we can take this, we can basically make this export format. Okay. Now that's different, but we can do everything except the XML needs tweaked. So we'll do this one, leave the XML, do these. So now theoretically, this shows the dead ones. So export text, export CSV can go. Then I thought I called it in here. Did I not write it right? Export format. Cannot call non-function export format. It is a function. Why is that not a function? Unused function. That's what? What the hell? Oh, anyway, so let's see here. Export format. Let's go up here and just type it in and see what we get. Export format. Why is that not? Well, let's do export. Formatted file. That's what I'll call it. Oops. Rebuild for export. Oh. So I might not be able to do that. I can stay that way. This can, oops. Let's make it the same in every one. So that the big difference here is this func name. Func name. I named it func name. That's, we need to refactor that. That's unacceptable. Refactor, rename. We'll call it collect. We'll just call it collect content. Yeah. This one, let's see, collect content. So that's for JSON. It works for JSON only. Shit, I think that's about it. I think that's what I'm going to get cleaned up for now. So anyway, we have it where it exports every file format. JSON, CSV. Let's do a text one. Boom. Yep. Then there's tweeters, and it is correct. And then the last one we're missing is XML. Let's do the XML one more time, and then we'll move on for now. XML, parse that sucker, and boom. Starting XML export to the tweeters. And there it is with the UTF bit. Mess with that. Like I was saying, it's a later time. All right, we got that stuff going on. Now, let's talk about the Twitter API a bit. Whew. Seems so bright and glaringly horrifying. Twitter. Actually, before we do this, let's get ourselves a local Cassandra node running. Yeah? Mark. All right, so if we roll out here to Apache Cassandra, click on download Cassandra. There's a billion ways to install this. So if you're on a different operating system, well, you know, pick your poison. I'm using the Debian package, which is the first bit here. There's, of course, RPM packages, and, well, you can figure out how to get it running on other things. I'm going to leave that adventure up to you for now. You can also go out and get, let's see here, Docker Hub. If we go out to Docker Hub, and then, oh, am I not signed in? I guess not. Do that real quick. It's probably the wrong thing. Is that the right thing? Well, yeah, I remembered. Cool. So, Apache Cassandra. You can go use this thing, the Cassandra Docker repo, which will get you one container instance up and running with one node. However, it's got other ways so you can seed more nodes, so you can make an actual cluster of these things, and that's pretty slick. And also, if you want to go super hardcore, which we'll look at much further down the road, you can look at like data stacks. You can look at some other databases and things like that. But we're just going to do a simple straight up install of this puppy. So I'll pull up the terminal here. And I'm going to add the Apache repo. All right, that looks good. Curl to snag the key. Let's apt-get install curl. I guess I could rewrite the command for wget, which this comes with, but install curl anyway. It's something that's used so often still that I still feel like it ought to be part of the OS, but they're trying to shift to, I guess, wget, right? Yeah, wget's there. So all right, so added the keys. Now I need to do an update. Let that run for a second. And then the next step is just to install Cassandra. Very standard, straightforward apt-get installation. And here is the immediate instructions to get started with in verifying that it's up and running once you have it installed. All right, there we go. So now, whoops, sudo service Cassandra start. That'll get it up and running. And then we can do a node tool status. And it verifies that we are cooking right here. And then whenever we don't want it running, we can just do sudo service, what is it, stop, I think. Yeah, just Cassandra stop. Just like that. So that's how easy it is to get it started, get it stopped. And now back to getting the API figured out. Twitter API Golang. All right, so I think I want to use, unless someone wants to throw in a different suggestion, I want to use the, well, there's Anaconda and then there's this one. So let's look at these two. There's a Twitter bot, Twitter API, Twitter Go Doc, Curious Developer, Twitter API Authentication, blah, blah, blah. Oh, here's what I want to know. Oh, how old is this? Oh, this is 3 years old. Development is featured on Twitter libraries. Supports both streaming. Oh, what does Twitter libraries have these days? Java, and then it suggests for Go, Twitter Go. Okay. So actually, let's go from their link. But first, I'm going to sign in with my account here. I don't even remember my damn password. You gotta be kidding me. Just getting this verified real quick. Twitter. Oh. There we go. All right, so .NET ones, and then we got Twitter Go, Twitter this, and Anaconda, respectively by Keurig, DG Hubble, and Chimera Coder. Oh, Chimera Coder. No Chimera Coder. So here's Anaconda. Let's look at this recent stuff. Anything recently? 2 months ago. Last committed October 14th. That looks pretty good. And it's got a build. That's pretty badass. Same thing on this one. And also just 5 days ago. Okay. On the examples. Sweet. Go Twitter. And I don't know, 6 years ago, 4 months ago, a year ago. I guess it's still being used, but I think we'll go with this one. The Go Twitter. And then, let's see here, apps. So I've created one app, Twitz Researcher, which if I click on details, you can see all the bits here. I added info to it, including our little page that we built last session, which is, oh, it doesn't go to it? That's stupid. Anyway, you all probably remember, it goes to this, which is just the default page it's set up. I need to add some content to that. So, and then keys and tokens are where all the good stuff is. So here's the consumer API keys and the access keys. And what I'm going to do is reset these in like 2 seconds. But whenever I use these, what I'll do to reset them so no one jacks my stuff is I'll just click regenerate, boom, see it gives me new keys. So same thing with these. And then if I go over to here, I'll just actually go through this whole setup. You go in, you have to ask for a dev account too, which is kind of, it's a real pain to get that set up these days with Twitter, but whatever, it's their business, so that's how they deal with that. If I go in here, and since I'm using the Goland IDE, I need to set up some environment variables for these secrets. So how I'm going to set this up is, let's say I'll go into config and go into environment, and I'm going to set up some environment variables. So the first one, and I'm going to call it twitz, then underscore, and we'll go with consumer API keys. So it's API key and API secret key, right? So we'll say, let's see, twitz, consumer API key. And we'll copy that in, just like that. And if you're following along, you'd have to do the same thing, right? So go get your Twitter account set up and then add an app, and then you get your keys this way, and then just add them in this. So then twitz, consumer API secret, like that. Boom. And there they are. They're in there as, oh, this needs to be done like this. Twitz, consumer API key. There we go. And the idea is when I run this application for real, I'll actually go out and set these in my bash RC. So like I would do this, go out here, and then they would always be available. That way I don't have to check them into the repo or anything like that. And I can just, oops, say export twitz consumer API key, and then give it the secret key, right? Or the, that's not what it is, it's the other one. So this thing. So when I actually run the application after I do a build out on a client machine or whatever, on one of my other work machines, I would have the keys set up in my bash RC or my bash profile if I'm running it on Mac or Windows, however you set it up on Windows. And then the keys would just be available as environment variables. So that way, however, I don't have to set it up on this machine. I can just have it set up in the actual IDE, and then whenever I run, those variables will be available to me. So the next thing I want to do, so this is config. Let's go up and get that shown. So what I want to do is format.printf, and then the consumer API key. That's your S. And then do viper.get string, and then I'll say consumer API key. Now the way that works is like this. So if we go back here and look real quick, I named it this with a prefix of twitz underscore, right? The cool thing about Cobra and Viper, or Viper specifically, working within Cobra, is if I go back to root and I go down here, in here I can set it up so that it'll automatically pull these environment variables, which is what this auto-env starts the process of. And let's see here. So what I have to do specifically is, I had my notes here. Give me a minute. There we go. So it's, oh yeah, that's right. So I got this set up, but then I need to set the prefix, right? So Viper set prefix. And I just put in twitz like this. Okay, and you just put it in lowercase. You don't need to put it in uppercase here. Then set, or viper.bind environment, and give it one of the variables, such as we used API consumer key, I believe. And then the other one was consumer secret, right? Secret. I might be wrong, but we'll find out in a matter of seconds. And I always like to put this up here because I think of it as like turning on the management of environment variables. Okay. We're on config, yeah. Okay, so let's run that. See what we get. Oh, look at there. So we got the consumer API key, perfect. And then we'll go ahead and do, whoops, format.printf, consumer API secret. Now, of course, you know, you wouldn't actually want to do this where, you know, you just have it printing out whenever. But this is for troubleshooting on your machine when you're using this tool, right? So it's not really that big of a secrecy issue unless someone's staring over your shoulder to look at your keys. But what we could do is, like, let's say we cut off the beginning of the string there. Let's concatenate. Yeah, trim. Golang trim x characters. Oops. Or no, mask. Let's do Golang mask string. Writing scripts with Go message. Let's see if this might not be the most direct thing to do. Haha. The problem. Oh, that's interesting. Shredded version, unshredded. Cool. Oh, that's for that. Let's say get last 4 characters of string in Golang. Look at that. It's almost like people do this with a credit card or something. So there we go. We can just probably snag something. Last byte length. Oh yeah, string length. I bet that works. The answer depends on what you mean by characters. If you mean bytes, then this. If you mean run, oh, that looks like crap. But if you do, oh, I see what they did. That's kind of a funky way to do it. Yeah, this is what I want to do. Oh, runes. Oh, that's freaking rad. Let's use a slice expression. Go back over here. And let's just, we'll do this. Let's play with it first. So result equals viper dot get string. Oops. Consumer API key. And then we want to use a slice. So we'll say the result equals result 3. Is it actually gonna? Yeah. Well, we'll see how that works here in just a jiffy. Result. Boom. So what's that look like? Oh, fascinating. It's only got 3 characters. Is there space before 1? Let's actually just print it out. Format dot print line, and then we'll do result. So what was it before? Oh yeah, so that's the first 3 characters, but it looks like it's getting extra stuff. So that's just FY. Go, you're funny like that. Let's do this. We can do the first 4. That's fine. Because this way we at least know that. Actually, we'll do the first. Do the first 6 here. We'll do it like this: viper.get string consumer API key, and then throw that on the back here, and throw that on the back here. And that way we're not actually showing the whole key, but you can still visually verify if you run twitz config what your key is, that it's actually, you know, it's matched to whatever you remember it being, but it's not giving away the whole key, so someone can't come and like write down your key if you're sitting there with your back exposed to people that want to do that. API secret. Oh, it's not a... That probably doesn't work then. What is the API secret? It's being returned as something else. Because I'm looking at this, and that's obviously not it. What is a string? Why is it flaking out on me? Oh, I see what happened. So let's put that Whoops. There, now it's appropriate. There we go. So that gives us visual confirmation that they are set. And sometimes you just want to know that on your machine. You don't want to sit there and take an hour trying to figure it out, so you can just run it on with the local command here. All right, so we got the keys set. Let's go ahead and set the other ones. Format, printf. What is the other keys? The other keys are called access token and access token secret. Okay, that's straightforward enough. I did not want to close that, but yeah, it's fine actually. Close it. Look at them here. We'll go ahead and add them here. So this is access token viper.get string. I didn't add it in there yet to bind, but I'll add it in just a minute. And this will be, let's go with access token, and we'll do the same thing. Format.printf equals access token secret. And viper.get string, oops, access token secret. So this one, go ahead and put in there, putting it in the config. So value, so we'll call it twitz access token. And we'll add another one called twitz access token. Oops. Stoken secret. And that value, actually I need to go get that value because I don't have it. Oh, it's this thing. It's a 6 in the front. There. So now we have all our keys in there. Before I even forget, I'm going to navigate over in my other interface and delete those keys. Ha ha ha. Well, but you know, I'll keep them active. All that's done in the background in the secret spaces. Okay, so I got that access token. Oh, I tokened that one too. Token. All right, and then I need to go set the bind up for them. Here, viper.bind environment, access token. That's it, right? Yep. Viper.bind environment. Oops, access token secret. I feel like I just typed it wrong. No, that's what I got. Okay. So that's bound for the environment variables. And then if we run it, and boom, it should be there. Yep. All right, we got them all set up. So we have all our information we need to use the Twitter API, theoretically. We just need the library to use now. So I'm gonna, okay. So let's do another commit. We'll just do config. What is this one? Oh yeah, I don't even care about that. But added environment variable handling. Environment variable handling for Twitter auth keys, tokens, secrets using Viper. And let's do this. Let's actually add my... Can I do that? I think I can do that. Save now. Push. Why am I rebase? Whatever, rebase. Let's see what merge looks like. Okay, so I got Cobra. So this is the origin. This is my branch. Oh, except left. I want to do left. I don't want to do right, right? Yeah, so I got rid of the comments, except left. Cool. Push rejected because there was conflicts during update. What the hell was the thing? Anyway, so this, the parse, let's say, oh, it took it. I don't know what it complained. Added JSON, XML, and CSV export capability to parse. And what's in root? Oh, yeah. Oh, there's the, damn it. Added environment variable binding for Viper in root.go code. And committed to yes, saving now because inconsistent data be committed. Let's save now. Please push. Oh, it's because I'm on the damn branch. That's what it is. I need to take a gander. Let's open up this terminal. Let's say get status. Yeah. I'm still a hardcore believer in just knowing how to do this via the CLI. It's a good idea to do that. Don't be reliant on the user, the GUIs for this. You won't run into issues. So get pull. Everything's up to date. Okay. Oh yeah, get branch. Oops. I'm on master. And what's all the others? Yeah, get pull all. That's all of them. I don't know what. I'm a little confused about what it was tripping about earlier. All right. There we go. So we have the Twitter auth credentials. We cleaned up that a bit. So that file looks good. So now really what we need to do is start going out. We need to, next thing to do. So getting this list, getting this parsed list of data needs to be in a function that I can call from other commands, right? Because like with the find them here, I need to be able to call that command. Let's go ahead and get rid of these comments. I need to basically here, let's see, we'll do a to-do call command to get string array of Twitter accounts, right? And then what I'll do is work through each account and retrieve key information, displaying it to screen and exporting to file. So, since we already wrote the information or the thing in parse where it goes through and it gets the Twitter accounts, this should be reusable in other parts of the code base. So let's go ahead and extract it out to a function. There we go. I didn't want all of this. All right, let's back up. I got to be a little bit more strategic. So here's the file. Here's the file being read. And then it gets parsed into stuff here. Right here, we finally have the completed Twitter list. But what we really need, we just need this part in a function. So let's get that over and move it into a function. So refactor, extract, method. There we go. And let's say build Twitter list. We'll do this. And let's say completed Twitter list equals that. All right, so let's let's say return completed Twitter list as such. And here string arrays. No, yes, no. All right, that should work. Yeah. Magic. All right, so now this, though, needs move to, let's put it in the helpers. That's where we'll put it. Because it's still in the package, the command package for now. There we go. We'll go back over to parse. It's making this file look cleaned up. Haha, kind of funny. Eventually, I think this is going to get down to like not a whole lot of code once it gets cleaned up appropriately. But right now, it's still kind of weird, messy looking thing. Yeah, we could do exporty thing. Yeah, I guess that's the, yeah. It's a pretty clean primary function for that now. Let's go back over here to find them. And let's call build Twitter list and get our completed Twitter list. Completed Twitter list. Build Twitter list. Boom. All right, so now for each whatever account, range completed Twitter list. Can I do that? I just spaced on this. What? How do you? Blah, blah. Oh, totally blanked on that one. Oh yeah, so it's just I'm just doing the short assignment. Okay. And then here, let's for now. While we begin, let's say for print line, let's say starting Twitter information retrieval. And then okay, so we knocked that out. Now we're just working on the main thing. So that doesn't need to be there anymore. Oh, actually, this should be outside of that. And then in here, format.println, querying or looking into the account. Twitter account. Twitter activity. Right? Yeah, so let's make a configuration. Can we copy this one? I think we can. So is this a copy command? Yeah, cool. Okay, so the awesome thing is it kept all the environment secrets, right? Because that's definitely what we want to do. We want the environment secrets. We don't have to redo all those stupid things. So for this one, I'm just going to name it find them. And here is find them. All right. So the other thing that we want here, we're just going to pass in that account. And I'm going to make a function so we can work in the function. Func get account info. And then we'll do account string. Oops. Like that. And then here, we're going to want the access token. We'll want the access token secret. And then, or what did I call that? I didn't call it that. Should go in here and just grab it. Yeah, copy that. There we go. So here, let's do this access token. Use the appropriate convention, API key. It's much easier. Oh, I'm doing it all messed up. Anyway, access token consumer. That's what we call it. And then access token secret. So really this should be its own thing. I'm going to call it, go here, refactor, extract method. I'm going to say get keys and tokens. And we'll say string, can I do this? This is insane and totally bad practice. I should do a struct. Let's do type keys and tokens struct. And then we'll do consumer API key, which will be a string, and then consumer API secret, it's going to be a string, access token, string, then access token secret, and that's a string. So in here, we'll do keys and tokens. Or whoops. First we need to create the damn thing. For the return value, we'll say keys and tokens. So var keys and tokens. Or I wouldn't call it keys and tokens. Keys, tokens. There we go. Keys and tokens. So now we have keys tokens dot consumer API key. What did I'm tripping. What did I just type wrong there? So I did this, keys and tokens struct, da da da. And then I could also do this. Whoa, get back here. There we go. So all of them are in there. And oh, I guess I could do this. Keys, tokens equals new keys, tokens. So we create a new keys and tokens. Consumer API key. There we go. Now we're, what the hell is the fuss about now? Oh, right, it's not used because it's not returned yet. Let's do return. Oops, keys, tokens. Nope. Damn it. Oh, that actually gives me an idea though. Return keys and tokens. Let's do it the way I was going to do it. So keys, tokens for now. Okay. And then this one will be keys, tokens, dot consumer API secret, and so on. Keys, token, dot access token, keys, tokens, dot token secret. Fancy. All right, so we have a thing now. I'm going to put this up. Actually, there's going to be other scenarios where we'll pull Twitter stuff. So this could be in the helpers for now. So let's actually put this in the helpers. And eventually this, I'll refactor this too and put it in more logical places instead of just jamming everything in the helpers. What is this fussing them out? Return. Reports incompatible types. I don't see any damn incompatible types. Well, we'll fuss with that in a minute. So do get keys and tokens. We'll do keys, tokens type. Oh yeah, let's see here. Keys, tokens equals this thing. Right, and then let's do a format.println, and we'll just print them out. Just make sure all our stuff's hunky-dory for the moment. And here, oops, get account info. And then we're going to do count. There we go. Can I use keys token, type keys token as type key token and return argument? What am I spacing on? Anybody got some ideas what I'm spacing on? Oh, and I definitely don't want this. Oops. Boop. So what do you want to do? I just want to return structure. Golang. Yeah, return struct. Some thoughts on this. Return reference to struct in Golang. Oh, do I need to do... So company here. Pass in pointer to it. Return worker. That's weird. Oh, yeah, okay. So should I do this? Create struct, return struct, Golang. Missing something here. Oh, same shit. Woohoo. So function, new worker. Okay, so add a new worker, and then the worker is added to the company. Return worker is a pointer here. All right, okay. I don't really care about the pointer. Structs. Let's look at it. Name, age. So person. Oh, I guess I should create it that way. So let's go refactor that real quick. Keys, tokens. There we go. And that. That value. Consumer API secret. Yep. This value. And then that value. Can I do this? Yeah, okay. Nice to break it down to each individual line. And then also Golang identifies here, this little section, what each of those is. So that's pretty helpful. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted anyway. So that's all set. Go back over here, find it. Yeah, print it out. So let's run that sucker. There we go. Okay. Yep, so it's doing it for each thing. So really, well, we'll see how the queries occur in a second. Because obviously I want to do it for each thing, but maybe, or each account, but probably we'll need to go back and actually pull up or start the Twitter initialization and then issue it with multiple accounts. But maybe each one needs to be made. I don't know. So then, whoops, let's go back here and we'll go and look at go Twitter, Golang. Where'd that library go? There it is, this one. And let's look some examples. So we got app-auth. That's probably what we want to do next. So flags, auth2. Let's grab this stuff. Access token, flags, access token required. Config access token. Twitter client. Is that the only thing it asked for? Well, anyway, grab all that stuff. Let's go. here. And probably need to add those manually. I might not know about them just yet. There we go. Boom. So now, yep, it'll run dep. So I'd be typing dep insure if I was using command line. But since I'm using Goland, it knew immediately that I needed new dependencies. So it started pulling those down for me. And as soon as it's done, see here at the bar, or the bottom, as soon as that's done, all this red should go away since I pulled it from the repo, if the sample code even works though. But we'll find out in a quick second. So key tokens, flag use, set flags from environment, flags Twitter, parse. So I'm not taking this, and I don't even know what that is, but I do want an access token. So that'd be keys, tokens dot consumer API secret access token. I guess let's go with access token. And then we'll see where all of it. Okay, well I've got one because I know it's in my config, right? And then here, I don't really need to set a pointer to it. Just do access token. Or actually, hell with it. We'll follow what they did. Automatically authorizes request. No context. Oh, well. It's deprecated. What's up with that? Oh, it looks like it should be something. There's no good reason why it's just no context rather than context background. All right, we'll just go to context background then. Maybe that'll work. Or maybe, well, if it builds, we'll just leave it that way. Should be context background. All right, and this is, what is this fussing about? Indirect. Oh, yeah, let's just, there we go. And client, and that's something we can do with the client. Client dot counts, direct messages, favorites, followers, friends, rate limits. Wow, cool. All types of crazy stuff. Counts dot count verify params. I don't know, what did I just do? Oh, there we go. Let's look at the example some more. So they'd set up a new client, and then they say show user. So use or show param, screen name Golang. User, client, show param, users show. Status show, users lookup. Well, let's try this one. That looks like what we're trying to do anyway. All right, so I'm going to put this up here, where I'm putting all this stuff together at the beginning. And actually, let's go to our sample file and just get one user in there. That is Twitterverse. And for now, well, since this has pertinent stuff in it, I'm going to make a file, Twitterverse example2. Add it, and put that in there. We'll go over here and we'll just put my info in. All right, we'll put thrashing code in. Thrashing code. Save it. Get out of there. And then that should run. Yeah, then it won't loop through a million times and drive us crazy. Users lookup. Nothing. This is supposed to be, last is supposed to be an error, I bet. So let's see if we can check. Error. Something happening here? No, I'm going to change this to, boop, not panic. Let's actually change it to print line. I just got those. That's weird. Check this post. Create token, blah, blah, blah. Error in token, 401 authorized. Yeah, that's... under keys and access token tab, click regenerate to create a new token, use a new key and secret. Update the HDDR package. Update R. Well... What is this one? This is where to go. Verify credentials. Twitter. Oh, there we go. Account. Verify credentials. Please note, your app will need to regenerate these accesses that are previously authenticated. You can view and edit your existing Twitter apps via the Twitter app dashboard. This is the thing. Okay. And then, okay. That's all cool, but that's params lookup. Maybe verify. No, let's actually get more hardcore. I'm going to fork this to my account. And then when that's done, I'm going to clone that sucker. List, cd go, source, GitHub, and then make dir, dg hubble, right? Yeah, dg hubble. Go into gg hubbles. Git clone this sucker. All right. Now we can really look at these examples. This is what I'm looking at, right? Oh, user auth. Here's a user auth example. Verify params. Yeah, this is what I want right here. Helpers, yep, find them. Let's do this. Let's go back to this, and then this, And then we can do, oh, what the heck is OAuth? OAuth 1? So I'll need to change the import to OAuth 1, I guess. And it can run dep in the meantime. And then here I need to set all of this crap. Okay, so this will be keys, tokens, keys token. Come on. Tokens dot keys tokens dot. There we go. Consumer API secret. This one will be keys tokens dot consumer API secret. This can go away. This one is keys tokens access token, and then keys tokens access secret, access token secret. There we go. Don't need to pass the flags, parse the flags. I mean, none of that's to worry about. These don't need to be pointers because I have the stuff. They can move it around wherever they need it. It's not a big deal. That oh, there's that thing again. Client, verify params. So there it is. Twitter. What is that one? It's a pointer to twitter.bool. Let's clean these up. Alt enter. Let's optimize imports. And yeah, okay, so that's nice and clean now. Go back here. And what is this? Verify params and client. If I look at the example, so client is, oh, it's just not used yet. So then I got user, verify params, and then there's client usage and verify. Okay. So that should be enough. This actually ought to be a function too, just to make sure. Matter of fact, it probably should run it in config, then we can make sure all this stuff is right. So, but let's do find them. Contributors enabled, false, created at default profile. There's the params up above. You enabled, false. Oh, okay. That looks like me. Huh. Default profile image, yeah. Interesting. So if I do, let's see, format.print f, and let's say default profile image. I'll just parse it into here. And let's say user.default profile image. Yeah, cool. Okay. And then format.println user.name. And format.println user.name screen name. Let's verify. Is that me? Default image squirrely junk. Well, let's take that out. But it's not, That's super weird. So it appears to be verifying the credentials, though. Actually, let's do this. So just give me a blank freaking object. Ah, it is. Okay. So these are just default values. Details. All right. I'm going to figure this out. Then probably call it a day. But so the keys and tokens. Did I already redo these? So that's FY, 2R. No, that one looks right. MO, blah, blah, blah. And then 160, RZO. And then 6GDF. Yeah, it's right. Let's do this. Let's regenerate. We'll put in the new ones. So there's a new API key. And the new consumer key. Could not authenticate me. So let's try the... Wait, that's weird. It says the API tokens are refresh now. That doesn't make any sense. Let's go back in here. Change these to that, and then that to that. Oops. And what do we get? Probably get the same shit. No, user's account. Oh yeah, so 32 could not authenticate you still. Duh. Okay. Well, this session has gone long, and we're about to wrap it up, but let's do a recap real quick. So we got a bunch of stuff added. We got the dependencies added for Twitter. Twitter's not working because the API is freaking weird. We got all of the access keys and consumer keys. So that's all set up. So that should be working. Those things are set up in find them. And then in config, we added the Viper configuration for the consumer API key in secret and the token in secret token, and added it to the display. I think in the future, I ought to add the maybe a switch. We'll add a switch or flag or whatever, something like that, to the CLI to actually verify the user at the same time it displays this out. So I can do that. And then over in parse, we did a refactor, got it down to this minimal little run command, and then broke out this into a little bit more readable code around the exporter thingy. Oh, I guess I should probably rename that. Let's do exporter thingy to, what should I call it? I should call export Twitter, export parsed Twitter list. Boom. There we go. And then there's the export text, JSON, XML, and CSV. I feel like somehow format being passed in should be enough. Because see, they're all identical. And I'll get that sorted out. There'd be like maybe a little bit of if then, but otherwise all this bit can be replaced. We'll look at that next time. And then that still needs done. And root, yep, we added the binds here for this. Unhandled error. Calls function message return an error if the error is not handled. Oh, right. Yeah, that's fine. So that's all cool. So that's what we covered today. We didn't get quite as far as I had wanted to. I wanted to knock out this Twitter stuff and maybe even get something writing into the Cassandra node, the Cassandra database, but we're not there yet. So there will definitely be another session working on this particular app. So stay tuned for a future one. And actually, let's look at the Twitch here. And we'll look at the next event. Try what? Having the site. Oh, it's not Twitter, it's Twitch I'm trying to go to. Come on, damn it. There we go. So if we go here and then look at the events, let's make this bigger. Events. My next event that I have scheduled is, well, that's the one happening right now. So I got one coming up. The infrastructure as code, terraforming an Apache Cassandra cluster. That's going to be diving a lot deeper into how to set up an Apache Cassandra cluster. Also a DataStax Enterprise cluster. I had started that a while ago, so we'll be working on that tomorrow, Saturday, December 1st, from 10 to 1 p.m. And then diving back in here, I'll probably push one of these and continue working on this one, or add in another date that'll have the latest bits. So I'll definitely get this wrapped up, get it in the repo with all the changes and everything else, and get that out to everybody so that they'll have a good working example of basically how all this stuff works with Twitter, Cassandra, etc. And like I said, one more session. So until then, happy thrashing code and all that good jazz. Cheers.